Have you ever gone to the dispensary right after seeing me, just getting all your recs renewed, and then all of a sudden when you get there you still can't purchase flower? If this sounds like you, it's happened to me too. You're not alone. What happened? The new 35-day rolling flower limit rule happened. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. Andreoni. I'm the main physician at Cannabis Doctors of Florida. I'm going to be showing you how you can find your dispensable flower amount, and I'll show you where you can find how much flower you're going to be getting back and when. I'll be using my own patient profile for this, so let's jump in. All right, guys, so if we don't know what the 35-day rolling limit rule is by now, we could just briefly go over it. The Office of Medical Marijuana Use sent this email out on January 21st of all dates for March 1st, explaining that they're going to be implementing this new rule. So basically, the medical marijuana treatment centers may not dispense more than one 35-day supply of marijuana in the form of smoking within any 35-day period to a patient or caregiver. So now, a 35-day rolling limit will now be used to calculate dispensation limits for marijuana in the form of smoking. The 35-day cycle is not based on the calendar month or certification issued date. This is different from before March 1st. Those dates did matter, and those dates would change if they transferred out or to a new physician or what have you. Instead, it starts when you first purchase whatever amount of flower that you purchase, and you'll get that amount back after 35 days. So let's go to where we can find our flower dispensation. Alrighty, so let's log in. This is the medical marijuana use sign-in portal where all the patients will sign in to see the profile. And then once we're in, we go to your profile, highlighted there, click it. Now we're going to scroll down. We can see right here, smokable marijuana, open. So we're going to click expand. Here is where we can see the dispensable amount. So as of today, I only have 0.017 ounces available. That's not even enough for a pre-roll. That's fine. All right, so we see how much flour I have as of now, but when do I get the remaining flour back? So we go to see calculation here. So now that we're in this new window, we can see here at the very top, we see this is showing us my complete dispensation history. Below that, we see the route, which is the smokable. Then next to that, we see the amount, then date dispensed, and then date expires. So everything is all right here for you. And we can see here that I bought just under half an ounce on the 27th, and we're gonna get it back after this date, so on August 1st. And we can look at the next one. I got 0.371 ounces on the 29th of June. We don't get that back till August 3rd, so on the 36th day again. All right, so let's back up a second. We have to understand why this new 35-day limit rule and checking your dispensation has even come about. So this rule was implemented on March 1st. Before March 1st, there was a lot of things that were going on in terms of like patients taking advantage of loopholes, and maybe they weren't taking advantage, but there was something in the system where like there was loopholes that you could take advantage of. These loopholes were getting taken advantage of. So for example, you could see me as a new patient, I'd approve you, you'd get 2.5 ounces of flour, you can transfer out to another physician, and then when you get new recommendations, if you go see a new physician, you're gonna get new recommendations from them. So when you get those new recommendations, that includes a whole new set or a whole new 2.5 ounces of flour. That's an extra 2.5 ounces within that 35 days that you just got when you shouldn't have had it. The other thing that people were doing, and this is nobody's fault, this is just how it could happen sometimes. Well, because now the flour, you have a 35-day limit that rolls through the dates. So the dates aren't as important. Before March 1st, you would have recommendations that would start and stop on these set dates that the registry would go by. So you could wait, not get any flour for about 30 days. In those last 5 days, you can get the full 2.5, and then everything renews, and then you have a brand new 2.5 within like a 10-day period. So, and then patients were using the flour too much, and then they had to wait for new flour, and then which would either cause them to complain or what have you, or they would switch out to a new doctor, get more flour. So there's a lot of things that were going on there. This keeps it more consistent. As much as we love it or hate it, this change is for the better. If you get a half ounce every week, a half ounce times 5 is 2.5, and then 1 week times 5 is 5 weeks, but that's also 35 days. So that breaks down to a half an ounce a week. You'll always have a half ounce the next week if you just get a half ounce a week. And honestly, that's like 2 grams per day. So that could be 4.5 gram pre-rolls, or you can, roll them yourself or buy them, or however you want to divvy it up, but you really shouldn't be using more than 2 grams of flour a day anyway. At the end of the day, This change may be for the better, maybe for the worse. You might not need to agree with it. Not that if you agree with it, if it matters. But it is what it is for now. So the best thing that we could do is to understand what's happening and then use it to our advantage. So what I just mentioned about getting the half ounce every week so you can always have a half ounce the next successive week, utilize this method. This will be most beneficial to you. The registry doesn't really care if you do or don't have flower. So by understanding all of this, this will be better overall. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.